Hi guys, it's Christine from Revibe and Pia, and I have your Monday motivation message for you. So today I thought I would go back to what I promised you last month and talk a little bit about goal setting. Last month we talked about setting an intention versus setting a goal. And I've had a couple of people ask me, we don't forget about doing the goals. So I wanted to go back to that. I'm going to keep it quite simple and use an acronym that we often use in the coaching world called SMARTER. So I'll go through the acronym. You can write it down. You can Google it. It's all over the internet. There are other ways as well, but this is just something simple that I like to use. So the S, let's start off with the S. It is specific. The more specific you can be with a goal, the easier it will be to achieve, the easier it will be to carve out what you need to get done, because you are being specific. You are not being wishy-washy. You don't want this or kind of that. You want this specific thing. So be as specific as you can, narrow it down to what exactly it is you are setting the goal for. Okay, so the M is measurable. How do you know when you've achieved this goal? You have to set it something that you can compare to. You have to have a measurement for it. So, for example, you can't just say, I want to be rich, right? That's a great goal. But how will you know when you've achieved that? How much specifically are you looking to earn? And, in which way are you looking to earn it? How do you know when you have exactly the amount? So it has to be measurable. Okay. If you want to be successful at something, how successful? Is it measured by a dollar figure or a monetary figure? Or is it measured by popularity, by likes on social media? So there are different ways that we measure our successes and our goals. So make sure that you have something specific in mind. All right, A is action plan. Now, this is probably the most, important to get from A to B, is we have to set those stepping stones down. So think of an action plan. How are you going to get from A to B? And sometimes we like to look at the final end goal and work our way backwards, because that works for a lot of people as far as figuring out the process. And then I like to take baby steps. That's who I am. I find that it's less overwhelming and that we can achieve a little bit more sustainably, and it's going to stick and last longer. But you can dive right in. However many steps and leaps you need to take from A to B, that's all about you and how it works for you. Okay. R is realistic. Is your goal actually possible? I like to have lofty dreams. I like to think everything is possible, but realistically, if you are a certain age, and you want to be an astronaut and go to the moon, it might not happen, right? So it has to be realistic. Are you able to get there? Are you in a financial position to get there? Is it something legal that you can do? You have to recognize if it's within your realistic realm that you can achieve that. And as much as I'm a dreamer, you have to have that ounce of realism as well to get there. Okay, T is timely. We need to set a time frame. Is there a deadline to get this done? Is there a reason why it has to be done for a certain time? Can you set a deadline or a time frame for yourself? Because again, it's something that we can measure it to. And a lot of times it motivates us to get a certain amount done on a daily basis. If we don't have any time, it can just get done when it's done. We don't do it, right? So setting a specific time when it needs to be done and having a why behind it is also really important. E, emotional motivation. So you have to have a charge. You have to have an emotional charge or connection with what you're doing. And sometimes we look at it like our why. Why do we want this, right? What's in it for us? What's going to, is it going to bring us happiness? Is it going to change our lives? Is it going to get us out of the slump that we're in now? Is it going to be for a long-term future goal? Is it going to improve our family's life? So we have to have that why and that emotional connection. If we don't have that, it's probably not that important to us. So it's less likely to get done. It's probably going to move down to the bottom of the list. We all have those things on our list that we just kind of avoid and never get ticked off. And that's because we're not emotionally connected to them, and they're probably not as important. So the more successful you'll be is by having that emotional connection with it. And finally, R is relevant. So, does it fit in with your lifestyle? Does it fit in with your values? That's a big one. Does it align with who you are as a person and your purpose for doing it? Because quite often we set goals that, are to please other people, right? For whatever reason. And if they're not in alignment with who we are or what we believe, it's a lot more difficult to achieve, and we will avoid it. We will do things to sabotage it. So being in alignment with your goal is very important. And so it should be relevant to you. So again, that's SMARTER. That is the acronym, and you can break it down like that. I have on my YouTube channel a little bit more detailed information about this. You're welcome to get in touch with me if you have some questions or want to shoot some ideas by me. I would love to speak with you, so please do get in touch with me. And I hope that helped. And I hope you have a great week, and I will see you next week. Take care, guys.